In the heart of the art world, a masterpiece lies forgotten, a treasure overlooked in the shadow of more famous works. This gem, shrouded in mystery and lost in time, was crafted by none other than the esteemed Vincent Van Gogh, a pillar of the post-impressionist movement. Van Gogh, a name synonymous with the swirling blues of starry night, the vivid yellows of sunflowers, has one less-known creation that has, for far too long, been neglected. Amidst the clamor for his celebrated pieces, this forgotten masterpiece quietly echoes Van Gogh's genius, his passion for color, his unique brushwork, and his uncanny ability to capture the essence of his subjects. This painting, lost in the annals of art history, is a testament to Van Gogh's immense talent and his intimate understanding of the human condition. It's time to pull back the curtain, to shed light on this overlooked gem. This is the story of a forgotten masterpiece, lost in the shadows of artistic giants. Born into a world of art and culture, Vincent van Gogh was destined for a life of creative expression. On March 30, 1853, in the small pastoral town of Groot-Zundert, Netherlands, Vincent van Gogh was born. He was the eldest son in a family that valued art and culture. His father, Theodorus van Gogh, was a country minister, and his mother, Anna Cornelia Carbentus, was a moody artist whose love of nature and the Dutch countryside would later be seen in Vincent's own artwork. As a child, Van Gogh was serious, silent, and thoughtful. He attended school locally, but spent much of his time on his own, sketching and observing the world around him. He was deeply affected by the people and the landscapes he encountered, a sensitivity that would later be reflected in his work. In his early 20s, Van Gogh worked for a firm of art dealers. However, he was not satisfied with the commercial aspect of art and left this job. He then spent some time as a school teacher and a preacher, but these vocations also did not fulfill his creative spirit. It was during these years of struggle and soul-searching that Van Gogh began to develop his unique style. Influenced by the rural settings of his early years, his work often depicted the beauty and harsh realities of peasant life. Yet his work was not well received. Critics found his style too dark and his subjects too common. Undeterred, Van Gogh continued to paint, driven by an insatiable need to express his deepest thoughts and feelings. By the time he was 30, Van Gogh had produced more than 2,000 works of art, including drawings, watercolors, and oil paintings. His style had evolved from the dark, somber tones of his early work to the vibrant, intense colors that would become his trademark. And so, the stage was set for the creation of a masterpiece that would be largely forgotten. In the midst of personal turmoil and artistic evolution, a masterpiece was born. This was a time when Vincent van Gogh, the tormented genius, was wrestling with his inner demons and seeking solace in his art. His life was a maelstrom of emotional turmoil, and his canvas was his only refuge. But it was within this storm that the forgotten masterpiece took shape. The creation of this masterpiece was not a result of a sudden burst of inspiration, but a culmination of a painstaking process. Van Gogh was known to meticulously plan his works, sketching various iterations before settling on the final composition. He believed in the power of repetition, in the idea that beauty could be found in the simplest of forms if one only took the time to truly observe. And observe he did. Van Gogh was known to spend hours, even days, studying his subjects. He would immerse himself in the details, the contours, the play of light and shadow, and the interplay of colors. He would then transfer these observations onto his canvas with an intensity that was almost palpable. The forgotten masterpiece was born out of this intensity. It was more than just a painting. It was a reflection of Van Gogh's inner turmoil, his struggle with mental illness, and his desperate search for meaning. Every brushstroke was a testament to his emotional state, every color a mirror of his mood. One can only imagine the emotional turmoil Van Gogh was experiencing at the time. His life was in chaos, his relationships were strained, and his mental health was deteriorating. Yet amidst all this, he found the strength to create. He found the will to express his deepest emotions, his darkest fears, and his brightest hopes. He found the courage to bare his soul on a canvas. But this masterpiece, born out of pain and passion, would not find immediate recognition. It would not be celebrated in Van Gogh's lifetime. Instead, it would slip into the shadows, forgotten by the world. Unbeknownst to Van Gogh, this masterpiece would slip into obscurity. While other works shone bright, the masterpiece quietly faded into the background. It's a peculiar irony, isn't it? This exquisite piece, bearing the unmistakable imprint of Van Gogh's genius, was overshadowed by his other, arguably more famous works. It's like a beautiful but silent melody lost in the grand symphony of his artistic journey. The masterpiece found itself overlooked, largely due to timing. Van Gogh produced an impressive body of work in a short time. The art world, dazzled by the brilliance of starry night and sunflowers, perhaps didn't have the bandwidth to fully appreciate this quietly captivating piece. Themes within the masterpiece may have also contributed to its obscurity. Van Gogh was known for his vivid colors and dramatic, impulsive brushwork that conveyed raw emotions. This piece, however, was a departure from his usual style. It was subtle, introspective, and demanded a more thoughtful gaze. The art world, accustomed to the intensity of Van Gogh's usual pieces, may have found this change of pace challenging to embrace. Public reception, too, played a role. Van Gogh's work was avant-garde and often met with mixed reactions. His unconventional style was met with both admiration and confusion. Some critics lauded his bold use of color and innovative techniques, while others were perplexed by his departure from realism. This masterpiece, with its nuanced themes and understated elegance, may have been too subtle for a public still grappling with the intense, emotive force of his more recognized works. And so, this masterpiece, like a quiet, unassuming book on a bustling library shelf, waited patiently for the discerning eye that would recognize its worth. It's a testament to the fickleness of fame, isn't it? That a work of such beauty and depth could be eclipsed by its own creator's success? Thus, the masterpiece was forgotten, a silent victim of its own creator's success. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, the forgotten masterpiece was destined for rediscovery. In the quiet corners of an overlooked gallery, hidden beneath layers of dust and time, the forgotten Van Gogh languished. It was the early years of the 21st century when a curious art historian rummaging through the gallery's archives chanced upon an old, neglected canvas. The painting, worn by time yet vibrant in spirit, bore the unmistakable brushstrokes of the Dutch master himself, Vincent van Gogh. The art historian was captivated. She felt the pull of the painting, the raw emotion it exuded, the story it longed to tell. She knew she had stumbled upon something extraordinary, but the journey from discovery to recognition was not a straightforward one. The painting had to be authenticated, its provenance traced, its story uncovered. For years, the art historian, along with a team of experts, meticulously worked to authenticate the painting. They delved into Van Gogh's letters, compared the painting's style and technique with his known works, and used advanced technology to analyze the pigments and materials used. Sure enough, their hard work paid off. The painting was indeed a Van Gogh, a forgotten masterpiece that had somehow slipped through the cracks of history. The revelation sent ripples through the art world. Critics and scholars alike were eager to reappraise the painting, to understand its place in Van Gogh's oeuvre. And so the forgotten masterpiece began its journey towards recognition. Exhibited with pride, it drew in crowds who marveled at its beauty, its depth, its sheer emotional power. It was as though Van Gogh's spirit had been rekindled, his genius rediscovered in this lost piece of art. The painting's rediscovery sparked a renewed interest in Van Gogh's work. Art enthusiasts, scholars, and critics began to see the Dutch master in a new light. The forgotten masterpiece offered a fresh perspective on Van Gogh's artistic journey, revealing a side of the artist that was previously unknown. Today, the forgotten masterpiece holds a place of honor in the art world. It is celebrated not just for its artistic brilliance, but also for the journey it undertook from obscurity to recognition. The painting's story serves as a reminder of the fleeting nature of fame and the enduring power of art. It is a testament to Van Gogh's genius, a beacon of his indomitable spirit. The forgotten masterpiece, a testament to Van Gogh's genius, now stands as a reminder that true art, no matter how overlooked, can never be truly forgotten.